Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are diving into something super exciting, real-time communication in the application. You won't believe how easy it is to build a real-time chat app using SignalR in C#. So if you are a .NET developer or someone who loves building apps that are fast and responsive, stick around because this is going to be awesome. So before we get started, just a quick reminder to subscribe my channel, hit the red button and don't forget to click on the little bell icon. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Okay. Without any further delay, let's get started. SignalR in C#. Let's start by answering the big question, what is SignalR? In today's modern world of applications, real-time communication is no longer optional. It's expected. Whether it's chat application, live notification or multiplayer games, users want things to happen in real time. In the past, real-time communication was a bit of headache to implement. But thanks to SignalR, real-time communication has become much simpler. It's a library for .NET application that allows you to easily add real-time functionality. That's why I wrote SignalR is a free open source library that allows developers to add real-time functionality to their applications. Okay, so let's discuss some popular use cases of SignalR. Live chat applications. Imagine you are chatting with a friend on a messaging app. When they send a message, you see it instantly without having to refresh or check manually, right? So apps like customer support chats work the same way using this technology. Live ticket booking updates. Let's say you are trying to book seats for a concert online. As people grab seats, the system updates instantly to show you the latest available options. You don't have to keep checking for updates. It's displayed automatically. Real-time collaboration tool. SignalR is also used for real-time collaboration tool. Think of working on a project in Google Docs with colleagues. You can see what each person is typing, deleting, or even editing in the real time as if you are all writing on the same physical paper. Live sports score and financial updates. Imagine watching a live cricket score app where the score updates ball by ball, or tracking a stock market prices that change by second. The information appears instantly without needing to refresh the page. So all these features are possible thanks to SignalR's real-time communication technology. Now let's talk about on which protocol SignalR is based on. So SignalR, which is based on the WebSocket protocol, enables real-time communication between the server and the client. But in addition to these protocols, SignalR also supports server-sent event, that is SSE, and long polling. Okay, let's talk about quickly what WebSocket, server-sent event, that is SSE, and long polling are. So WebSocket is nothing but a full duplex low latency connection that allows both the client and server to send and receive messages in real time, whereas server-sent event, that is SSE, is one-way communication method that sends updates from the server to the client. It's very important to keep in mind. This provides one-way communication only, and that also from the server to the client. Okay, whereas with long polling, what happens, the client repeatedly sends HTTP requests to the server and waits for the server to respond with the new messages. This method is less efficient compared to WebSockets or SSE because it involves more overhead and may introduce higher latency. Now the question arises, how does SignalR determine which transport to use? SignalR handles all the transport selection and switching automatically. If you see this diagram shown over here, SignalR gives first preference to the WebSocket. That's why I have written preferred protocol over here. When WebSockets are not available but the browser support SSE, then SSE comes into the play. That's what I have written. If WebSockets not available, then server sent events is going to work with SignalR. If neither WebSockets nor SSE is available, SignalR falls back to the long polling. So here I have mentioned if WebSocket and SSE not available, then long polling is going to work with the SignalR. Okay, so these are the preferences in order, but it also depends on the browser capabilities, server configuration and network condition, which helps SignalR determine which transport protocol to use. However, let's say if you want to specify a particular transport, we can configure it explicitly when setting up the SignalR client. Anyway, we can go ahead for now with default preference itself. Now let's discuss quickly key features of SignalR. Real-time communication. Imagine getting instant notification or updates like when your food delivery app shows the driver's live location without you refreshing the page. SignalR allows servers to push these updates to your device in real time. So this is one of the key features of SignalR, real-time communication. Multiple transport mechanism. Think of it SignalR figuring out the best way to communicate between your device and the server. It tries to use the fastest route, that is the WebSocket, as we already know, right? But if that's not possible, it switches to alternatives like server sent events or long polling. Hub. The hub is like a communication communication station where the client and the app server meet to share information. It keeps everything organized so they can talk to each other smoothly and efficiently. Now let's talk about how SignalR works. The server as a hub where the communication logic is defined. What does it mean? Think of the hub as the control center on the server that knows how to handle all messages between the app and the users. It decides what happens when a message is received and who should get notified. Client like browsers or apps connect to the hub. Let's understand this way. Let's imagine your phone or browser dialing into this control center to stay connected. Once you are connected, your app can send and receive message instantly without waiting for the hub. Next, when a client sends a message to the hub can broadcast it to all other clients. Let's say if one person sends a chat message, right? The hub can take that message and send it to everyone else who is connected. It's like a group text where the server acts as the sender. Now that we understand what SignalR is, how it determines which protocol to use and how it works, right? So you might be wondering how to implement SignalR in ASP.NET Core with C#. So it's very simple to implement. We just need to follow these 5 steps. Step number 1, set up the project. What we need to do? We just need to create a new ASP.NET Core web application using the ASP.NET Core empty template in Visual Studio. So that's how we are going to set up the project. In step number 2, what we need to do? We just need to add the SignalR NuGet package to the project. How we can add this package to the project level? We can do so either in command line way or GUI way. In command line way, what we need to do? We just need to open the package manager console in Visual Studio and run this command .NET add package Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.SignalR. And if we run these things, then all the necessary library will get listed into our project. The second way is the GUI way. In GUI way, what we need to do? We just need to right click on the project in the Visual Studio. Then we need to select the manage NuGet packages. Search for this library Microsoft ASP.NET Core.SignalR, and once we get it, we just need to click install button. It will install this library in our project. So this is the step number 2 by which we are going to add the SignalR NuGet package to the project lab. Okay, coming to the step number 3, what we need to do? We need to create the hub. So for creating a hub, what we need to do? We just need to add a new file, let's say chathub.cs, where we need to define the communication logic between the server and the client. So this is the main important file where we are creating hub. Okay, coming to the step number 4, we need to configure SignalR services. So for configuring SignalR services, what we need to do? In program.cl file, which is nothing but the startup file in the .NET Core application, here we need to add SignalR services and map the app to the SignalR hub endpoint that we created in step number 3. Okay, then last not but the least, we have the step number 5, create the client interface. So here what we need to do? We just need to build the user interface. Let's say I have created index.html. So in this index.html, what we need to do? We just need to write the code to connect and interact with the SignalR hub. So that's it. With these 5 simple steps, you will have a fully functional SignalR setup in your ASP.NET Core application. Okay, so let's switch to the Visual Studio and see all these things in action. Alright, so here we are in Visual Studio. Here we are going to build a real-time chat app where whenever one user sends a message, all other users see it instantly. This is simply done with the help of SignalR. So SignalR helps us in creating a real-time connection between the server, all the connected clients. So everyone gets the message without having to refresh the page. Okay, to show the demo, what I have done, I have created one ASP.NET Core empty project in .NET 9 as a part of step number 1, where I have set up a project named SignalR demo. Then I have added SignalR NuGet package as a part of step number 2. How we can add? As I discussed earlier, we can add it either command line way or GUI way. In command line way, how we can do that? It's very simple. We just need to go to the tools, then we need to go to NuGet manager. Here we need to click this package manager console. Once we click it here, this package manager console window gets appear here. So here what we need to do? We need to type the command .NET add package Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.SignalR. Let me type it. So here what we need to write? We need to write .NET, then we need to write add, then we need to write package, then we need to write Microsoft dot ASP.NET Core and ASP.NET, right? So ASP.NET Core dot SignalR. Okay, and then we need to click the enter button. So this NuGet package library will get installed in this application. Okay, I have already installed, that's what it is getting listed under this dependencies packages, and here if you see this Microsoft ASP.NET Core.SignalR 1.2.0, already there in my application layer. So this is the way how we can add it with the help of command line way. Okay, so let me show you another way, that is the GUI way, how we can add this NuGet package in our application. So what we need to do, we just need to select this project, then right click, then we need to click over here, manage NuGet package. This window gets appeared. So here what we need to do, here if you see browse, install and updates. So in browse only we need to write, what we need to write, the same package name, Microsoft.ASP.NET Core dot SignalR and then enter. So if you see here, this item got listed, Microsoft ASP.NET Core.SignalR, and if you see here green tick mark, it says that it is already installed. And once I click here, then if you see this installed, it is showing 1.2.0, and because in our system I have already installed, then that's what we are saying, that install 1.20 and uninstall button is appearing over here. If you are doing the first time and this package was not installed at your application level, then here you will be seeing this install. You just need to click install all the necessary component of this package. It should get installed in our application level. That's what if you see, these are the component of this package. Okay, so with this we have completed step number 2. Okay, then as per step number 3, what we need to do, we need to create a hub. For creating a hub, what we need to do, we just need to add a new file, let's say chathub.cs, where I need to define a communication logic between the server and the, for that purpose I have created chathub.cs file. Let me open this. If you see here in chathub.cs, what I have done, I have imported first the SignalR library over here from the ASP.NET Core framework, right? That's what I have written using Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.SignalR. Why I have added? Because it enables real-time communication between server and clients. Then there is a namespace named SignalR demo, and it helps us to organize code and avoid name collisions in the application. That's what I have added namespace over here. Then there is a public class named ChatHub that inherits Hub class, which is the base class provided by the SignalR. This ChatHub class will serve as the SignalR hub, and it will help us in managing connection and communication between server and the client. Then I have defined an asynchronous method named sendMessage that accepts two input parameters, user and the message. So this method is going to be invoked by the clients that is connected to the hub. Inside this method, what I have done, I have broadcasted the message to all connected clients. How we can do that? For that I have used this sendAsync method. So that's what I have written, await clients.all.sendAsync. And here we have 3 arguments. The first one is the receive message. What it is nothing but the event name that clients listen for. User and messages are the data sent to the clients when the event triggers. Okay, so that's how the code is written in chathub.cs file as a part of step number 3. Next, as per step number 4, what we need to do, we need to configure the SignalR services. So how and where we need to configure it? So it's very simple. We need to configure in program.cs file. Okay, so let's review the code what I have written in program.cs file. First of all, I have imported the SignalR demo namespace where our ChatHub class is defined, right? Then I have written this statement, where builder is equal to web application.create builder args. What it does, it creates an instance of the web application builder which provides services and configuration for the application. And here if you notice, I have passed this args. Args is basically command line arguments which is passed to the application, we often use for the configuration purpose. Then what I'm doing, I'm just adding SignalR services. How we can add that? So for that we need to write something like this, builder.services.add SignalR. So here basically what I'm doing, I'm just registering SignalR services with the dependency injection system. So SignalR needs to be added over here because we want the app handles real-time communication. And this is how we are injecting this SignalR services into the pipeline. Okay. Then I have written where app is equal to builders.build. So this statement builds the application pipeline and prepares it for the execution. Then what I have done, I have enabled the static file middleware. How we can do so? We need to write something like this, app.use static files. So what it does, it will look for the files in the www root folder by default. So this is the way how we are instructing system that okay, go and look the files in the www root folder. This is the by default location you need to look for. Then what I have done, I have mapped the SignalR hub endpoint. How we can do that? For that we need to write something like this, app.maphub chathub, and then inside that chathub. So if you see here, this chathub is nothing but the custom hub class that we defined earlier, right? And this /chathub is nothing but the route where clients will connect to the hub. So basically I'm telling system, okay, if I want to use the SignalR services, where we need to look for, this is the endpoint I have mentioned over here, and this is how we need to map the SignalR hub endpoint. It's very, very important. Then what I have done, I have set a default route for the root URL. How we can do so? App.map fallback to file, and inside that we need to pass which route we need to map it, right? So this one I have mapped it. So this line serves as a safety net. Why I am saying this? Because this sets a fallback route for any unmatched URL serving the index.html file by the default. And finally, I have written this statement, app.run. So what it does, it starts the application and begins listening for the incoming HTTP requests. Okay, so you have seen how I have written the program.cs file, right? Okay, so now coming to the last step, that is the step number 5, where we need to create the client interface. How we can create it? So I need to create a user interface in a file, say index.html, that I have kept into the www root folder. So what it includes HTML, CSS and JavaScript for the user interface and the client side SignalR functionality. Okay, let me open this index.html and review the code what I have written. Okay, so I just double click. So this index.html file popped up over here, right? This is nothing but a typical HTML document that has a starting and ending HTML element, and in between we have written head, title, style, body, a script element. Okay, so if you see here in head, I have written title SignalR chat. Then we have this style block where I have defined this body, chat container, chat header. So basically what I have done over here, I have written CSS class that will be utilizing to decorate our chat interface. Okay, so for that purpose only I have written this CSS class under this style block over here. Then what I have done, I have added ASP.NET Core SignalR JavaScript client library. Why I have added? Because it enables us to call server-side SignalR hub, and that's what I have written this statement. Script src http cdn.js cloudflare.com ajax libs Microsoft SignalR 7.0.5 SignalR minimum.js. So basically I have used over here as a CDN library, so I don't need to host it at our application itself. I'm directly referring to the CDN library itself. Now in the body part, there is a div element that has a CSS class chat container over here, right? Then inside this we have written 3 divs. So basically we have written 3 sub div element that represents, one is chat header, chat messages and chat input. So here this messages will contain all the messages that we are going to send it. So it will be listed over here. And chat input, I have given the 2 placeholder, for one name and the second for the message that user is going to type it. So they will be getting one text box where they can put their name, and the second text box where they can type their message they want to send it. 2 input control I have provided to them, and then also we have one button control that I have decorated with this class chat input button, and this is nothing but the send button. And in the send button, whenever user is going to click send button, this JavaScript method is going to get invoked. So I have written on click is equal to send message. Okay, so this is the div element altogether. Then we have the script section. So here what we are doing, we are initializing a new connection to a SignalR hub where we specify the URL where hub is hosted. In this case I have written /chat hub, right? So this should match the route defined on the server. And finally what I am doing, I am just calling the build method to complete the connection setup and creates a hub connection instance. That's what this statement is going to perform. Then I have written connection on, which is a method provided by SignalR hub connection object. What it does, it defines event handlers that will respond when the server sends specific messages to the client. So here if you notice, the first argument is nothing but the event name, and in our case it is the receive message that this server will trigger. And the second argument, we have callback function, which I have written in the anonymous function level, that accepts 2 parameters, user and message. To update the chat display with the user's message, we first get the div element over here. That's what this messages is nothing but the div that we have already seen over here. This is the ID and this is the div. So what I'm going to do, I'm just retrieving this element reference. So I have retrieved this element and stored into the constant name variable message div. Similarly, what I'm doing, I'm just creating a new paragraph. That's what I have written document.create element p. P denotes the paragraph that I'm creating, and that paragraph I have stored into the message element. Okay. Then what I'm doing, I'm just adding a CSS class for the message element, but there is a class assignment condition. And what is the condition? Condition is user triple equal document.get element by id user.value. What does it mean? It means if the message sender is the current user, then the class sent is added. That's what I have written, sent, or otherwise received CSS class is going to get added over. Then what I have done, I have written this statement, message element.inner HTML, a strong user, a strong message. So with the help of inner statement, I am going to display the message along with the sender's name in the bold. That's what users I have written in the strong element in between, right? So it is going to bold this senders. Then what I'm doing, I'm just appending the child, which is nothing but message element over here, to message div. Message div is nothing but the div where I'm just appending this paragraph, because message element is nothing but the paragraph that I'm going to append it into the div that is going to get added over there. Finally, I have written this state, messages div dot scroll top is equal to messages div dot scroll height, auto scrolling to the latest message. That's the operation callback function does over here. Then what I'm doing, I'm just going to start the SignalR connection and begins listening for the messages. However, if the connection fails to start, what we do, we just log errors in the console. Then I defined a function to send message to the SignalR hub. So what this method does, it gets and trim the user name and messages content from the input field and stores at the const variable named user and message respectively. That's what I have written. Const user is equal to document.getElement by id user value.trim. I'm getting the user, and then whatever the user I have received, I'm trimming it and storing into the user variable of the constant variable type. Similarly, I'm just getting this message, trimming it and storing into the message variable over here. And then with the if statement, what I'm doing, I'm ensuring that both the user and messages are not empty. If both are having value, then we invoke the send message method on the server passing the user and message parameter. That's what I have written. Connection.invoke send message user and message. If something goes wrong, then we are going to capture into the catch block and printing the error into the console. Okay, and finally I'm the clear the input field. That's what I have written. Document.getElement by id message.value is equal to blank. So overall, what we are doing over here, with these scripts, we are enabling real-time chat functionality by establishing a SignalR connection. Then I'm listening for messages from the server and displaying them. And finally, I'm allowing users to send message back to the server. Okay, so let me go and execute this program and show this output to you. Okay, so now if you see, this chat window got appear into the browser. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a different tab altogether. So now we have two tabs. First tab and the second tab. So what I'm going to do, in the first tab, I'm just putting name as a Ravi, and here I'm just typing message hi Sanjay, and I'm just clicking send button. So if you see, I have sent this message and it shows Ravi who has sent this message hi Sanjay. In the second tab, if you see, this message got appeared Ravi hi Sanjay. Let me put name as a Sanjay, and then I'm just going to put it hi Ravi, and then I'm just going to click send button. So if you see, Ravi hi Sanjay, Sanjay received from the Ravi this message, and Sanjay sent this message hi Ravi. So in Ravi chat window, this message got appeared Sanjay hi Ravi. Let's say Ravi again ping this message, I am fine, what about you? I'm just going to send this. So this Ravi sent message to the Sanjay, I am fine, what about you? Then Sanjay received this message from the Ravi, I am fine, what about you? Then Sanjay said, nice, I am fine too. Okay, I am fine too. And then I'm just sending this message. So Sanjay sent this message, and in the first chat window, I got this message. Sanjay is saying, nice, I am fine too. Now you have seen what it looks like in action. As soon as Ravi sent the message, Sanjay is receiving. Sanjay sent message, Ravi is receiving at the real time without refreshing the page altogether. So no need to refresh the page. So see how easy it was to set up a real-time chat app with SignalR. Now you can take these basic steps and build out more features like user authentication, private messages, or even file sharing. The possibilities are endless. Okay, so that brings me to end up my session today. To sum up, today we explored the fundamentals of SignalR, what it is and how it can be seamlessly integrated into our application. As I mentioned, the possibilities are endless. Whenever a real-time communication is required, SignalR emerges as a powerful solution. Its simplicity and versatility are remarkable as it effortlessly encapsulates WebSockets, SSC, and long polling, allowing us to focus on development without worrying about these underlying technologies. That's all for this video, guys. If you like this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends and colleagues, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already. Thanks for watching. See you next video.